Have you ever felt like your personal growth journey just isn't quite working out for you? And you're also reading the books, and if you're doing the meditations, and you're doing these things so that you can improve yourself, but you're feeling a little bit stuck. It's not a pleasant place to be, and I know that because I have definitely been there. It's extremely frustrating. If this is speaking to you, watch this video today. I'm going to share with you the 3 things that really are required to be successful. I know that's a subjective term, but you can apply success to whatever it is that you're going after or want to go after. That's successful when you're moving towards something that you want. But I'm also going to share with you when personal growth fails. So that's what I'm going to deliver today. Stay tuned to the end because that's the piece there that you're going to really need to hear if you want to finally change what's not working in your personal growth journey.
My name is Kevin Yoder, mindset coach and creator of the Inner Game of Achievement. I help people improve their patterns of thought so that they can terminate those limiting beliefs, boost their confidence, and accomplish their most inspiring goals for life and business.
Let me start off by sharing with you what you actually need to have in place to be successful. Again, successful is a highly subjective term because someone's level of success could be $1 million or maybe it's 100,000. And what is small to somebody is big to someone else. So it's up for you to decide what success is. The best definition of success that I've learned and I apply is when you're moving towards something that's important, that you've deemed to be critical in your life. And it's the progressive realization of that. That's a term from Earl Nightingale, the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. And he called it a worthy ideal because it's worthy of your time. It's worthy of your energy. And frankly, it's worthy of you trading your life for it. So that's the deal. So let's start off with number 1. Number 1 is mindset. I can't tell you how important this is. It's critical. It's right on the top of the list because if you don't get this part right, nothing else works. In order to be successful, you have to have the proper mindset. There's actually several parts to mindset. You hear that term thrown around quite a bit. I'll break it down for you. Exactly what mindset is. You first and foremost, you need to set those big goals. That's a worthy ideal. The goal has to accomplish 4 things. Number 1 is it needs to scare you a little bit. Number 2 is you never done it before. And number 3 is you don't have all the answers lined up in front of you. Number 4, the most important part about the goals is it requires that you grow in the process. You're a different version of yourself. It's critical that you actually accomplish those 4 things in your goal setting or it's not going to be big enough. You will stop short. Number 2 is you have to have a positive, powerful self-image. The self-image is a controlling mechanism we each have within ourselves. It's like a thermostat on the wall. We all have a setting. And the thing about the self-image is it's about consistency. So you can't ever outperform your image. The thermostat's there to regulate. So the self-image is a regulation machine. It's a thermostat, an internal dial that we can't ever outperform. We can't outrun it. So the inner work needs to be done. We're talking about the inside work. Once the self-image is adjusted and oriented properly, if you're at 72 degrees and you need to go to 90 degrees to accomplish that goal that I explained, then everything that you would need to do would follow naturally because you've adjusted your identity and consistency has been reached. Paradigms are also another part of this, which is basically paradigms are the perception, the way that we view the world. They control so many things. They control the level of drive and tenacity and whether I go for something or back away from it. Am I afraid of this opportunity? Do I deem it to be scary or a little bit beyond what I think I'm worthy of? All that's controlled by the paradigm. So you need to have big goals in mindset. You need to have a healthy self-image and you need to have rock solid, empowering paradigms. The self-image and the paradigm kind of works like this. One feeds the other. Positive paradigms feeds the self-image, which then powers the paradigm. And it goes like that. The opposite is also true. A negative self-image and disempowering paradigms will drive your behavior down to nothingness, and we don't want that. Number 2 of what you need to succeed are models. Who are you modeling? Who are you going towards? Who is the person or persons that you are following after in your business system? When you decide you want to go for something in sales, are you modeling after somebody or are you kind of just winging it? And number 3, massive action. You have to persist until. Persist until. Well, persist until what? Persist until you've done the thing. Go until it's done. Go until you've accomplished it. So those are the 3. And I'm going to share with you now when personal growth goes wrong. Now, how do I know this? I have the front seat of coaching clients all over the world. And I see when it's not going to work for them. I kind of call it up front, by the way. But most importantly and more intimately, I've seen it fail for me. When you want to improve yourself, you've got to follow the process. You have to set big goals. So the things to be successful is setting big goals. When you fail to do that, what's the opposite? Setting small goals. Goals that are not meaningful. Goals that don't cause you to stretch and grow. Okay? That's number 1. You're not setting big enough goals. Number 2 is you have a problem with the programming. The self-image is set too low. You don't have a program that's specifically designed to help you adjust the self-image and rip out the old paradigm paradigm and replace it with a new. Those things are missing from your personal growth. Number 2, you're modeling after the wrong people or nobody at all. So who are you modeling? Model after the best. What about if you have the wrong sales scripts and someone has taught you that is selling, maybe they're a $100,000 a year earner, but you want to earn $500,000 a year or $1 million a year. But the sales scripts in your industry aren't the best that you can have. Maybe you're following somebody who has never done it themselves. The example I can give you is this. Watch this clip right here. This is my son, Henry. He won first place in cross country 2 weeks ago. Boy, were we proud of him. He crossed the finish line first, and we were jumping and screaming and I mean, high fives at the end. Big hugs for this kid. My son is 13 years old. The second week later, which is just a couple days ago, he ran and he came in third place. And before you start thinking that's actually sad, get this. He shaved off 21 seconds in 1 week. 21 seconds in a race. What's the difference? The lead runner, he was modeling after someone who was totally faster than him. He crossed the finish line about 5 seconds, I would say 7 seconds in front of Henry. 7 seconds. But my son shaved 21 seconds off because he was modeling after a faster runner. The first time, he was modeling after himself, his own pace. You see that? That's the difference. Okay, you have to model after the best. I want you to hold this story in your mind because this is probably the best example I can give you from my own life, that it just dawned on me of how important modeling is, okay? You have to model after the best if you want to be the best. And third, you're not applying massive action, but you think you are. Here's the deal. What if you're making a certain amount of calls? What if you made 20 calls a day and you're like, I'm taking massive action. But then you find out this guy over here is making 100 calls a day and setting 5 times as many appointments as you. You see that? There's always another level, but if you don't know what that level is, you think you're taking massive action. You're not taking massive action. Go find someone who's kicking your ass in your business and model them. You realize that there's always another gear. You can't think that you're doing the best. You're doing the best that you think you can, but you're not doing the best that can be done, and there's a big difference. And finally, of this massive action piece, is you're quitting too soon. You're not going until. You're giving up when the going gets hard. And usually this falls into the number one thing I shared with you, which is the big goal. If you don't have a big enough goal, there's no meaning behind it, you'll just give up. Why? Place a big goal that means so much to you that you will never give up. You'll break down the barriers. No matter what's in front of you, you will continue on until you've accomplished the thing that you set forth to do. Nothing will stop you. There'll be nothing or nobody that can get in your way if the meaning is big enough. That is so critical on this piece. I hope that this has served you today. Listen, I could hold back and I could sugarcoat it. I could also tell you that there's not a path for this and good luck, but I'm not going to do that. You stuck with me to the end here. So here's what I want to tell you. If you want to have a conversation about how to finally install these 3 components, I promise you the self-image is a big part of that. And you don't know how to do that, grab a call with me. I'll walk you through the steps. We'll talk about what's going on in your life and business, and then we'll see if it makes sense to have a coaching relationship. If it doesn't make sense, we're not going to do it. Period. I'm good with that, but at least I've helped you in a little way, right? But if it makes sense, perhaps we will. We'll have to talk about that. I don't coach with everybody. I coach with people that A, want more and they know that their way's not working. B, are willing and able to follow a process, a proven process to change the paradigms and alter the self-image so that they can be a better version of themselves for their families and their businesses. And 3, people that are not willing to, they're not going to give up and quit. That's it. If that's you, grab a call with me if you want to learn how to do the things I described in this video. If it's not you, God bless you. Find a path, pick up a book, and maybe you can learn from either that through constant spaced repetition of the ideas over and over again, or maybe there's someone else that you would resonate more with. I hope this has served you today. Go out there and do amazing things.